Hello, it is Wednesday. It is time to look at some YouTube comments from last week. If you guys want to be in the video, leave a comment. You might get in there. We cover all the good, some of the bad. Not really any bad today, but we got some good stuff today. So let's talk. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's get in there. We'll start here with Mies Witcher. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. New to your channel, I subbed after watching the getting into having a retail card store video. That's an old one too. That's really freaking cool. I used to sell online Digimon, Pokemon, MTG, Yu-Gi-Oh, Vanguard, etc. And I can say that a doubt. Digimon had the most sales. Overall, I could sell any card in the set, no problem. Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, or even Pokemon cards, if they weren't a full art prismatic rare, full art no border card, they would just sit there until someone had to buy them for a deck of nostalgia. So this is a really interesting comment, and covering this comment as a entrepreneurial, card wheeling and dealing type person myself. That I actually see the opposite nowadays. Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't even touch anymore, and Vanguard I've never touched, to be honest. Pokemon a little bit, Magic more so now than ever, and Digimon are like my big staples. And I'll tell you, the Magic cards sell the most. Pokemon, as long as it's meta relevant, it usually sells. Otherwise, it's bulk. Digimon, I've actually had a bigger problem selling Digimon cards today than I've ever had in my life. And there are reasons why this is the way it is. I'm actually going to cover this in a video that is coming out, I think, Friday. Maybe. If not later, soon enough. But I just find it interesting. It all depends on kind of where you are, and everything can be really anecdotal. Because this person, this Witcher lady, I assume, is having the opposite effect. Whereas Digimon used to like be the thing that flies off the shelves. And I will actually admit, back in the day, I'd say 2022, 2023, I actually had no problem selling Digimon cards online or in person. A lot of stuff would fly. A lot of stuff would go. But now it's changed. But again, that's a talk for a later video. But I do love to highlight the comments of people that have the entrepreneurial experience to back up what this channel was originally supposed to be about. So we love to see it. So, really good comment here. DigiDustin. Funny enough, the Dexmon is becoming more and more relevant every set. Less and less people are accounting for it, and when you get 1-2 aces on board that it can hit, oh hell yeah. It is really interesting because Death X had a moment in time where it was terrible, like absolutely like should have been in the bulk pile, but it has had a tiny resurgence. Now we're seeing this comment from the Eater deck profile I did, where I'd played the one Death X mon for budget. But I'm being real with you. If it wasn't a budget deck profile video where you could put Death X mon, it would be Medieval Gallantmons, and like my not budget version of the deck does play a Medieval Gallantmon over Death X mon, and that's really the only change. So it is interesting that Death X mon is getting better with a lot more tamers and aces lying around, but it is interesting. You'll see it. Boris the Goose. Put this in TCG Player, optimize cart, put price at 85.11 at the time of writing this comment, completely min rarity. For some reason, the Yuko has gone from $4 a piece to $11 a piece, which is inflating the cost of the deck. Hexmon is even cheaper than that now. Arata is also $5 a piece as opposed to the lowest at $3.50. It's under $100 right now, but would say it's not quite budget right this moment. I'd wait to buy this for Yukos to drop back down. I know Mario likely made this video when Yuko's were inflated, but I felt I should go ahead and break that down. I appreciate the comment and the breakdown. He is correct that this profile was made before Yuko exploded in price, but since then Yuko's come back down. But interestingly, Arata's gone up in price, so that's, it's still budget. It's actually still one of the cheaper decks in the format compared to other decks that are way more expensive than this. So like comparatively to other decks, it's still budget. Is it as cheap as it could be? Nah. I think we're past the days where you can build a tier 1 deck for $50, which you could do in the first, I'd say, 10 sets of the game. Now you can't. You literally can't do it. So, still not bad, but it could be better. He's right. Rob F6273, OMG, I never thought I'd see this day again. Mario doing a deck profile I couldn't have clicked fast enough. Most of the deck profiles, though, to be real, are available to the YouTube members, which I'll plug right now. There are a few other BT22 decks on there. So if you're interested in seeing more deck profiles, come member. That's where I stick all the good stuff. Next, Mox Moonstone. Now we've entered the comment review video last week where the big focus was alternate previous formats. Mox Moonstone, instead of typing an essay, says Digimon after Gravity Crush ban will be Edison. Gotta remember, Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison is popular primarily because of the diversity in the meta. Y'all can play Lord Knight Mirrors all day in your goat. I knew someone was going to say something about this. I think I actually called it in my video. Some person is going to say, well, we're in Edison right now. Or technically, we're about to be, according to this comment. Close enough. It is all subjective interpretation, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. But I would rather have Lord Nightmare after Lord Nightmare day after day instead of today's meta, which is just, oh, I got OTK'd before I could play the game? Cool. Or, oh, I OTK'd you before you could play the game? Cool. Or, oh, I set up this really great board that you can't interact with, so I basically win anyway? Really cool. It's just, back in the day, BT5, you could interact, you could play the game, and games were a lot more thought out, and not just the OTK machines, the skillless, brainless OTKs that exist now. I would take my Lord Nightmares. I'll take them any day of the week. Any day of the week. Literally, any day of the week. Sunday to Saturday, any day. I would do it over today's meta. True Pain Gaming, it says he's down to play retro tournaments, which is great to see. Max the Para feels similarly, so we always love to see that. And Sound Magician says to call it the Watchmaker Tournament. It's going to be more than a tournament, right? It's going to be a format, like an alternate format. Like, people when the game came out tried to do Pauper. People tried to do Monocolor or whatever. This will be another thing that tries to happen, and we'll see where it goes. When I have time to put into it, I will do it pretty soon, I hope. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how the reception goes. Jackson H says, great video, great channel. Your tagline for the hit like button is extremely cringe. I'm going to be real with you. Cringe works. You know, some of the most popular YouTube channels in YouTube are the cringiest YouTube channels. And I feel this comment because I don't fall for the cringe. I'm not subscribed to any major big fucking YouTube channels. Because I don't give a fuck. I don't. And the content that I watch, those really big channels don't even make. Like, it's really interesting stuff. I do barely watch YouTube, so that could have something to do with it. But yeah, if it's cringe, that's good. I could make it less cringe, I agree, but I probably won't. Unless I change channels. That would be interesting. 1 Day of Peace. When did Digimon become so popular? I'm not mad, but it seems to have happened overnight. Well, being the 5th anniversary of the game, when Digimon did their whole big presentation at Worlds, that whole thing, there was a surge in Digimon popping off. A hype train, if you will. It is cooling off now, I will admit, but it kind of did spark some interest overnight. A lot. It really did. Like, that's true. We'll see what happens, though. Usually hype doesn't stick forever, but we'll see where we go. Ianoch, I have no idea. I want to buy an EX9 box, but my locals is selling it for 140 Canadian, despite it being 90 CAD. If you go by TCG player price, tax is not yet included. No one is buying their boxes, LMAO. They even had a sudden influx of BT22 singles the past few days because they cracked their own boxes for it. It was the most logical answer, as nobody was really buying them since it cost almost 180 with taxes with them. Their shelves suddenly looked empty after 2 days, and their listings for singles suddenly got replenished despite being sold out for over a week now. They saw how those Yuko, Rada, Nokia, etc. pumped in value, and most likely realized it's better to get their value in singles now than wait to try selling those boxes nobody wants. similar to the first comment, this is something I'm going to touch more upon in a future video. Actually, the same future video, which might be Friday. But to give you the really quick version right now, they're selling EX9 boxes at 140. Not because they're trying to be super greedy. I think 180 for BT22 is a bit of a stretch. But 140 in Canadian dollars in Canada, isn't that far off of reasonable. People are just pissy because box prices are going up in Canada. Specifically Canada. Like, a comment I'm known for saying a lot is I wouldn't play Digimon if I lived in X area. You can insert X wherever you want. I'm going to be real with you. Canada is slowly becoming X area, which is sad. But it's not Bandai's fault. It's a lot of political factors in the world, a lot of worldly events that are causing things to become ridiculous. But it is shitty. You do hate to see it. And I think 180 is too much for BT22. But 140, like, if I upload the video, I think I'm going to upload Friday, and it'll be really obvious. It'll be about Digimon and making money. If that video comes up Friday, you should watch that video for a more in-depth answer to this question. And you'll understand why your locals is selling EX9 boxes at 140. It's not a great price, but this is the world we live in Canada. Tonio C105. Now a few comments from the Lucemon video to finish us off today. Lucemon paired with Leviamon for me has just been pure fun. The new Satan mode is dope. You know, I give Bandai a lot of shit for their card design because 99% of the time it sucks. But I do like the synergy the Demon Lords has. Even if you're not playing the Demon Lords deck per se, you can combine Lucemon and Leviamon and have a good time. You can combine Lucemon and Beelzemon to an extent, have a good time. Or whatever. Stick some of your Demon Lords together and have a good time. You can do that, which I think is really, really cool. It's something I've toyed with. It's not for me. I prefer pure Lucemon, but I am fully behind this comment. I support it 100%. That's the way you enjoy it. I don't blame you for enjoying it. Yeah, boy JS says, I agree that this does make it better. I don't get why players say it sucks. You have when attacking options that allows you to be aggressive and forces your opponent to do something. It's true. It's all about the choice, or rather the illusion of choice. Because Lucemon gives the opponent a choice, but like the choice is obvious 99% of the time. Which is interesting. It's a fun little gimmick. But we'll go to the last comment here before we fully answer this question. Well, from LOL Hamhams. I don't see a world where any of this support makes Lucemon much better. It's pretty sad. Well, like I said in my video, this support doesn't push Lucemon to tier 1. It's going to keep it in tier 2 land. Absolutely. Unless we get something else revealed that makes it crazy. But at this point, we've had the Lucemon, the Satan mode, the Chaos mode, the Egg, and the new option that costs 2. That makes you more aggressive when you attack. It's not enough to push it to tier 1. It really isn't. But it is enough to take it out of tier 3. And I think that's a win. I don't think we're going to break Lucemon anytime soon. But, as far as support goes, it's not bad. It's just, why would you play Lucemon when you can play Sakuyamon? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to a regional, why would you? And that's it. That's it for today's video, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you later. Bye!